folks to come and tell us their story, because we believe everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a story to tell. And I tell you, today, you need to sit back, better yet, lean forward, because this one is one for the ages.
A story a day.
All right. Joining us live in the studio, folks. Imagine for a moment you're living a pretty normal life. Pretty normal, just like most of us. And then one day, gradually, you start losing your sight. Until you lose it completely. What do? How does that change your life? This is the story of Crystal Asige. You need to listen up, folks. Listen and listen carefully. Crystal, welcome to Hot 96.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Wonderful. Tell us your story, Crystal, because it's just, when Jalas was telling us that you're coming on Thursday today, we said, my goodness, the whole country needs to hear your story. So go on. Tell us your story.
Well, I have an eye condition that's called glaucoma. I've been suffering from it for a while now, for most of my life, but it only came into effect when I was around 14 years old. I am from Mombasa, that's where I live, and I grew up and I went to school. So when I was in school in Mombasa, in the classroom, I used to sit at the back of the classroom. But then at some point in class, I realized I can't really see the blackboard very well. So I had to start moving a little bit forward, year on year. And then at some point when I was around 15, maybe I just thought this is just too much, because all the stuff that I was doing at school, whether it was like basketball or poetry, music recitals or plays, whatever the case, I used to really struggle with my eyesight, seeing scripts and such. And so I started finding it way too strange. I mean, I would play basketball and someone would pass me the ball and I wouldn't see it in time. Things like that. So people used to tease me, my friends in school, and teachers used to think I was just being lazy or not wanting to work in class when they asked me to do something.
Did you try and get glasses? Did you try and get...
Exactly. So I asked my mom, can we go to the optician, because this is a bit strange? And we went to the optician. The optician, unfortunately, I remember him very well. He actually thought that I was faking it when I couldn't read the letters on the wall. And he was like, no, go on, read them. And I was like, I can't really see line 4 or 5. And he was just like, no, you can read. And he told my mom, can you please tell Crystal to stop joking around? And since then, my confidence really got shot, because I felt that I finally got the courage to tell someone that something was wrong with my eyes, and he didn't believe me, a doctor, and he didn't believe me. So I was like, well, then I just don't want to tell anyone anymore. Let me just keep it to myself, like I have been for the last for the last while. And after some time after that, I said, I don't want to go to doctors anymore. But finally, we went to Lighthouse for Christ in Mombasa, which is an actual eye hospital, whereby they gave me a couple of eye drops and they told me just use this for every day for the next month. They didn't really tell me what was wrong with me, unfortunately. They didn't tell me it was glaucoma, because I guess I was quite young. They probably thought I wouldn't really understand what was going on anyway. But then when I went to UK, I was in the UK for university, where I studied film and theatre, and there as well, struggling with my eyesight, trying to do film, trying to act, but at least there was more support out there, because they're more exposed to people with challenges in the UK. And then I decided to take myself to an optician there as well. He referred me to an eye hospital, and then after a couple of months of tests back and forth, they told me I've got glaucoma. They said, the doctor just sat me down and he said, Crystal, this is what you have. Basically, it has no cure. Glaucoma comes somewhere from your family line. That means that somebody in your heritage has it, which we don't know about till today. Don't know who it is. They also told me that because I'm black, it's going to be more aggressive in me because of the color of our eyes, more aggressive than like white or Asians. And then they just explained to me, basically, after a couple of years, your peripheral vision will get shot. And then after a few more years, it'll get a bit darker, a bit dimmer, very blurry, the eyesight. And then they said, finally, it'll be like tunnel vision and stuff like that. So they explained to me much more in detail in the UK. So at least I was a bit more prepared. But then I wasn't, because I started to spiral.
Oh, my goodness. What a story. And you said no cure.
No cure.
Nothing can be done about glaucoma.
No.
Don't people usually get it when they're older? Is that what it's associated with?
Exactly, yes. People get it when they're older. Most of the time it's people who are elderly. And in fact, it's so funny because every time I used to go to the eye hospital, I was always the youngest person in the waiting area, and usually the only black person as well. So all the elderly ladies and men used to come and say, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, dear?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I've got glaucoma just like you." And they're like, "Oh, what a shame. Oh, at least I'm 80, but you're only 20." You know, things like that.
Goodness.
And so they used to feel really bad for me, but I was just like, it's okay. I'll be fine. So yeah, it usually does affect people who are much older, usually. But like, because I'm so young, they also told me that it'll take way more years to take its effect. So there's only ways to either stop or slow it down, but no ways to cure it. So it depends on when you catch it. That's what's really important. The sooner you catch it, the better your chances of like keeping the eyesight you already have at that time.
So what do you have right now?
So right now I'm about 90% blind. And actually, this fun fact: around 280 million people in the world are visually impaired in some way, but only 10%, sorry, of that 280 million actually see nothing at all.
Right.
So 90% of blind people or visually impaired people actually see something. Like when I walked in, I said, "Oh, I thought you'd be a bit taller," and you were like,
And
"You
I
can
thought
see."
you were kidding. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I can see. So I could see a bit of shape and stuff, especially when there's light behind you.
Right.
I can see like your silhouette and stuff like that.
Okay.
So people don't really know that.
But
visually
is it
impaired
blurry
people,
when you see me? Is it blurry?
like right now, I can't see you at all. Can't see if you're wearing glasses or
Right.
what color your clothes are, anything like that. Nothing.
Can you see light above us? Can you see?
Yes, I can see the tube lights at the top, and I can see this table because it's a little bit lighter in contrast to the machines on the decks and stuff.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh my goodness! So you need a helper every time now. I mean, you can't do anything on your own.
I do a lot of things on my own. I think because I got diagnosed officially in the UK, that was really a blessing because at least I started my O&M training. That's orientation and mobility training out there, and they gave me adaptive skills training. So at least I know how to do stuff around the house. How to They gave me tips and tricks about what to do in the house, like when you go out to the shops, how to pour yourself a cup of tea without spilling it everywhere, things like that. And then also I got myself a white cane. I call her Faith. This is what I walk around with all the time.
I was going to ask you, would you get that? Yeah, and that works?
It works, yes. It works. Unfortunately, though, in Kenya, it works a little bit less because when I go outside in Kenya, the roads are really bad, not tactile. The flooring, if there are pavements, they've got potholes and puddles.
Have you fallen around here? Have you fallen trying to walk in Nairobi?
I've fallen, I trip all the time. I fall all the time, and people usually go, try to help me, and I'm just like, it's okay, no problem, Nisa, asante. But so this is the kind of things that I'm trying to spread awareness about because I'm a VIP ambassador. VIP means a visually impaired person. So I'm going around the country doing talks and.
So you're not the kind of VIP that Jalas is?
Well, I'm also that kind of VIP.
Oh, okay. So you go around the country talking
about.
Have you been to Thika School for the Blind, for instance?
I haven't been there to speak. No, I haven't been there because I've not been able to get there yet. But I have been doing lots of talks, especially over Glaucoma Week, which was last month. I was going around the country, Mombasa and Nairobi especially, talking about visual impairment community in Kenya, what we suffer, how we suffer, what people can do to help, how the government can get involved, like NTSA and improving, for example...
What about sidewalks and walkways?
Exactly, sidewalks and street lights, because like I said, not all of us can see nothing. We can see something. So the more light there is, the better. Things like, if there's a footbridge, how am I supposed to cross the road? You're giving me double the work because I've got to go up the footbridge, find it, cross, instead of just having like a normal traffic light.
Can you imagine trying to cross Outer Ring? How many people die a day on Outer Ring?
5.
And these are people who can see?
Yes.
5 a day.
And
a
so
moment
things
ago,
like that.
my dear, a moment ago you said things started to spiral.
Yes.
Talk to me.
So I was in university having the time of my life, but then on the other hand, they told me this terrible news about my eyesight. And because, when you're in university, other students are just, kind of having fun, doing their thing. So no one's really ready to get such, heavy information, about their future. And so I was just like, okay, I listened to the doctor, what he said, that meeting that we had, and the diagnosis, and I was just like, okay. So I went home and I just thought, first of all, I called my parents and I told them what they said, and I was just like, but don't worry, Mom and Dad, I'm fine, I'll be okay, etc., etc. And then after I put the phone down, I cried. I cried that evening, I remember, and I just said, if it's going to happen in 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, whatever the case, then let me have fun in the meantime. So I used to go out a lot. I was going out drinking like 5 nights a week. I started getting into the wrong groups, dabbling in drugs and stuff like that, because I just wanted something to distract me, basically, from the reality that was going to happen about my eyesight. So I did a lot of that kind of stuff, and I didn't really tell anyone about it because, like I said, other students did. I mean, I can't just tell my friend, like, hey, can you listen to me gush my heart out about the fact that I'm losing my eyesight? They'll just be like, what? I mean, I'm going to the club. Let's go, Crystal. So I had no one to talk to either. I didn't really take counseling. I think I should have, to be honest, a bit of therapy, because it would have helped me during that time. But God was there. That was my counselor. So I was being taken care of, even though I was kind of pulling away from what was right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm sure you were asking yourself, you're asking the same God, God, why me? Yeah, why me?
Exactly, yeah. It was exactly like that, because I was like, God, you've brought me all the way to the UK, you facilitated all these, blessed me with all this stuff, and I'm doing film and theatre, and I need my eyes for film and theatre. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, what have I done wrong, God? Could I have done it? Could I have take myself to the doctor earlier, maybe? And I was like, I'm sorry, please forgive me for anything that I've done, for whatever that my family might have done, or anything. I was always praying, always crying, always fighting with God. Then finally, in 2010, I finished my degree. And then I had to come back home because I had my first surgery as well in 2010, which went well because the pressures came down. They were in the 40s, my pressures. They should be in the 10. So I was triple, but they came down in the surgery, but then it compromised my vision, that first surgery. So I had to come home, and then I went through like a really long few months of depression. I had like suicidal thoughts, and I didn't want to see my friends. I was always in my room, my parents' house when I came back to Mombasa, and I just didn't want to see anyone. I was always crying, always sort of feeling bad for myself and such and such, and did a lot of like you were saying, talking to God, asking him why. And one evening I prayed and I said, you know what, God, fine, if this is what you're going to do, just do it. But if you're going to do it, we have to make a deal right now. You have to promise me that you're going to be there for me. That you're going to walk in front of me, that you're going to pick me up when I fall down, because I will. That stuff is going to happen. So you need to promise me that you're going to be there for me. And I think after that prayer or that argument, whatever it was, things have turned around. Not that it's been easy at all. No. But since then, at least I kind of have a sort of peace in my heart, sort of like there's water being poured in my heart. Anytime there's something really weighing on my shoulders, a burden about it, when I wake up feeling like, I'm having a bad day, feeling frustrated with myself or impatient with myself, at least I know that God promised me those years ago in 2011 that he's going to be there for me.
7 years later. This is deep, man. This is deep. 7 years later.
I've not spoken.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jalen has not spoken.
We were just part of this My Story thing the other day.
Yes.
And I listened to Crystal. And anytime she tells this story, man.
You know, what I can't get over is your attitude. Your bubbly, joyful, almost a never say die attitude. I don't get this. This is very difficult.
Man.
How old are you, Crystal?
I'm 29 on 13 August. Hey.
Hey. Welcome to the third floor. We said at the same time.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Wow.
So I spent most of my 20s in and out of hospital.
Yes.
So unfortunately, I kind of felt like the last 10 years have been not wasted, but spent, kind of fixing myself, fixing my soul, fixing my spirit. Yeah. And I've had 8 surgeries in the last 6 years.
Is this for your eyes or for something else?
For my eyes only.
Only.
Apart from my eyes, I am very healthy. I don't eat meat, don't take dairy. I'm very healthy, very fit, love to exercise and everything like that. But it's just my eyes. That's the only thing. And
the surgery you have, is it what? To rectify, to
slow it down.
So slow down the glaucoma.
That's it. Because basically glaucoma... the glaucoma is a buildup of pressure in the eyes. So the surgeries that I've done are basically, if you can imagine, like a slow puncture. If there's a hole in your tire, it slowly the air slowly
T-board.
seeps
Yes,
out.
T-board,
Exactly.
yeah, T-board.
So basically, that's what they did on my eyes a few times.
Does it hurt? I mean, does it give you headaches or migraines and stuff like that?
When the pressure goes really high, yes, it does. But when it seeps out of, because basically they punched 2 holes in the top of my eyes. If I lift up my eyelid, you'll be able to probably see the incision. And then basically what that hole does is that when the pressure builds up, automatically the pressure just seeps out of that little hole at the top of my eyes. So when the pressure is low, then it's good because my eyes don't hurt. I don't get headaches. My eyes don't go red and watery and stuff. But when the pressure is high, I know immediately because I am getting the migraines. I have to stop all that I'm doing and go home and like have a lie down, take lots of, aspirins and stuff like that.
How often does that happen, Crystal?
Nowadays, not that often because of the 8 surgeries I've done.
Yeah.
Before, it used to happen almost every day. Couldn't really work without having at least a day where I was having a migraine and stuff like that. But now it's much better. I don't have many bad days at all.
What has this done to your filmmaking career?
Well, in the UK, actually, after university, the BBC snatched me up. So I worked there for 3 years, and they were very supportive. I told them everything at the beginning of in my interview stage. When they came, they told me, "Come in for an interview. We'd really love to see you." So I told them everything, and they were like, "It's okay. We are really supportive of equal opportunities and stuff like that." So they gave me a job. It was amazing, and they trained me in all sorts: radio, TV, news, production, everything. But when I came back to Kenya, I applied to the media houses that we all know and love. And unfortunately, they saw more of my limitations than I did myself. So it was funny because in interviews, I would have to defend my eyesight as if there was something wrong, like as if I was in the wrong for having visual impairment.
Right.
Because people look at me and say, "Oh, but can you really be a producer still? Are you sure?" I mean, because that, and I'm like, yes, all you have to do is get this equipment. I have to have voiceover recorder on the computer, da-da-da.
And you can do all that.
I can,
You've done it at the Beeb.
Exactly, at the Beeb. Thank you. At Auntie, as they call it in the UK.
That's right.
So I've done all that, but my fellow countrymen didn't believe in me. Foreigners believed in me more. So after about a year, that was 2013 when I came back, after a year of tarmacking, trying to convince people that I can actually do the work that I say that I can do, I decided I'm not going to go to another interview. I'm not going to look for employment anymore. I'm going to work for myself because clearly people don't believe in me. So I don't want to keep going to interviews and my confidence getting shot. People looking at me and telling me, "Oh, something is wrong with you. You're not good enough," basically. So I just said, I'm not going to get myself down because of these people. Let me just be a freelancer. So again, NGOs were the ones employing me, who are, of course, foreigners, right? So I don't understand why foreigners can see more in me than my own sort of fellow countrymen. So,
unbelievable.
I've been freelancing as a producer with NGOs since 2013. And then, of course, my music, I'm a singer, songwriter, and I do voice coaching. I do so many other things. I have like a little Airbnb that I also help manage at home in Mombasa, performing at corporates and private gigs and stuff like that. So lots of things happening. Just doing it for myself now.
And how's the singing career? How is that?
How's singing coming along?
Yeah.
Singing is going really good, especially the last few months especially. I get people to email me at my email address if they want gigs and stuff, info@crystalasige.com, and or my social media platforms, which is Crystal Asige, and they tell me we're having this, But on the radio, haven't really been able to crack that as much as I want to, but I'm still working on it. I've got a really amazing group of people that support me and stuff, and always follow me everywhere that I go. They also came, this is my story on Saturday with Jalango. My group of my groupies, they're like, "Whoa, Crystal."
I was alone.
Jalango, you're not alone.
Crystal took all the...
And
So
you
this
refuse to
singing
sing.
thing.
Yes.
Belch a tune.
Yeah, why don't you show us what you can do a little bit here?
Ooh, child. Okay. I just had a cup of coffee, so I've got energy now. We had sugar in it, so I'm like, yeah. Right now?
Right now.
Okay, so this is a song that I actually released this Monday, gone. It's called Safer, and it talks about basically what we've just been chatting about, my journey and that prayer that I had with God, and where he said he'll be the light to my feet and the lamp to my path. It's called Safer. I walked 1,000 miles. Shadows and dark and light, they're all the same. I've cried 1,000 times. I can't deny that I've tried it their way. Since you say you like my way, Jesus, my life ain't been the same. Been the same ever since I closed my eyes and walk by faith. I see clearer and better. I feel safer than ever. I see clearer and better. I feel safer than ever.
My goodness, Crystal.
Thanks.
And then the irony of it, you're singing about seeing.
Yes, absolutely. I love songwriting. I write all my songs as well, so I'm a songwriter as well. And
You have a beautiful voice, by the way.
thank you.
Beautiful voice.
I always say it's God's voice. I'm just borrowing it for this lifetime.
Oh my.
But yeah, I write my own songs, and I really emphasize on lyrics on songs, because I always feel like if I do my part and write a song true and not glossy and not kind of fake and talking about things that have nothing to do with me, if I'm true to the song and honest and vulnerable enough in the song, and somebody else listens to it and says, Crystal, wow, that's exactly how I feel. Like I couldn't have found the words to express myself the way you've just done on my behalf. If I can do that for one person, then there's not that much better. There's nothing that's better than that, basically.
But if you had an option, if you had a choice, if you had a wish right now, what would it be? Is it the singing? Is it radio, TV? Is it all of the above?
Hey, why can't I have it all?
Sure.
Yeah, God's given me all these talents, so I'm trying to explore them all, because I mean, if anything that I've learned in my life is that nothing is guaranteed. Tomorrow, I woke up one morning and I couldn't see the way I could see the day before. So the amount of urgency that I've adopted in my life, like if something is happening, just go, Crystal, go get it as much as you can, take it as far as you can, and see where it takes you. So basically, I don't want to leave anything behind, whether it's the singing or whether it's the baking. I also bake at home, whether it's the radio that I want to pursue as well, anything, filming, producing, anything. I just want to go for it all, because I don't know what God has in store for me.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I tell you, man, God is smiling at you right now.
Dom Sabwa, see, I'm kindly requesting to meet the lady. I have an eye foundation that I would love to work with her to advocate and create awareness on eye disorders.
Wow, that's amazing.
Find us at Odyssey Eye Care.
Odyssey Eye Care. We'll give you the details, okay? By the way, can you read Braille, or how do you, is that the way?
So I didn't do Braille, because by 2010, when I first had to start doing my trainings in the UK, I asked them about it, and they told me, well, nowadays technology is going so fast, it's moving so fast, that if we teach you Braille right now, it'll take you about 3 to 5 years to learn like perfectly, and by that time technology will be so far ahead, you probably won't need to use it. And plus, they said nowadays when you go to public places, there's hardly anything in Braille. You don't go to a restaurant with a Braille menu.
No.
You don't go to a supermarket with like Braille tags on the shelves. So there's not really many places that you can use it. Especially when I came back to Kenya, I was like, there's hardly anywhere apart from Panadol boxes, which have Braille at the back, and your bank cards, your ATM card.
Right.
That's the only thing that has Braille, really.
ATM has Braille on the back?
Yeah, no, on the little words, the letters that are on the card attached. Yeah. So
and Panadol as well.
And the back of medicine boxes, they have Braille.
I didn't know that.
You didn't even know? Hey,
look at that.
A story a day, a lesson a day.
No doubt. So you say you go to supermarkets? You go shopping?
Oh yeah, I do everything.
What do you mean?
What do I mean?
So you go with Angie here. What's that stick's name again?
Faith.
Faith, yeah, Angie, Faith.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
See, Angie. I can call her Faith Angie, though.
Faith.
So you go with Faith
Yes.
into supermarket.
Yes.
You
so,
walk in.
So basically, what I do, I live in Mombasa, so I usually have like my tuk-tuk guy or my boda guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, or I walk down the street with my stick, and there are some Atatus who already know me because of the area that I live. They're like, oh, Ingia.
Okay.
So I jump on one of these transports to get to wherever I'm going. I go to like the vegetable shop, and he knows me already. He already knows my family, so he already like helps me walk down like the different aisles and collect what I need, and then I pay for it on M-Pesa on my phone. I use Siri on my phone, which is super helpful. So she talks to me and like leads me through the phone. I pay by M-Pesa, and then again I jump on the boda or the tuk-tuk or whatever. Then I go back home and I cook.
And you what?
And I cook.
You cook?
I cook, yeah. I still go like water skiing. I still go to the beach. I love swimming. I'm a beach baby. I'm from Mombasa, so I still go swimming and jet skiing, and I still go dancing. I still like going dancing. Just basically everything that no people do.
What?
Yeah.
This is incredible. This is incredible.
Wow.
I travel as well. I love traveling.
Yeah?
The SGR has like saved lives out here, man. I'm telling you.
Jalas and I still haven't taken the SGR.
Oh, you need to, guys.
Can you imagine? We still haven't been on the SGR.
I can just try, imagine.
How is it?
It's good. And they're very helpful, actually. I was very surprised that when I walked in for the first time, they had trained staff who actually like, okay, can I hold you? Do you want me to hold your arm and stuff like that? So they were very much like trained on people with challenges and stuff like that. So I'm very impressed with them, actually. The only thing is their phone number doesn't really work all the time.
No.
Sorry, SGR.
No phone number works in Kenya.
You know what?
Even mine.
It doesn't work.
Even yours.
But you know what? It's been so jam-packed the last, 6-8 months.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to get a ticket. You know that?
Exactly. That's what I'm even trying to get a ticket back home, and everything is full. Like everything. I don't know. I'm gonna have to walk home. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. If only you could buy a jumbo jet ticket now for next month. It's only 2,200 one way.
I hear you on the radio talking about it. Yes.
Why can't you actually, why can't someone hire this young lady for radio? You have a great voice, you have
Thank
great
you.
articulation.
Can I give you a little drop?
Go on.
Okay.
Go on. Hold on. All right, go.
If you'd like to listen to this song or other songs, please download the View Sasa app on Google or Apple stores, or you can text 40984.
Did you know that? View Sasa presents.
I just had
SMS
that.
the word. View Sasa to 40984. That's the exact number.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I just had it when I was waiting in the waiting room for this show. So.
What? That's incredible. Crystal, you are incredible. Do you have siblings?
I do, yes. I have my 2 brothers and my sister, who my sister is in the UK now. She's married out there, but everyone else lives at home, Mombasa. And then I have like,
Right.
sisters.
But what number are you in this?
I'm last.
You're the baby.
I'm the baby.
And mommy is big support.
Yes, she's even here. First lady. I call her the first lady.
Yeah, smiling like, such a proud mom. Wait, I mean, did you try and ask them to explain, why me when this thing happened to you? Mom, let's talk to mom.
Come on, Mom.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, welcome to Hot 96.
Thank you.
So when Crystal first came with this, I think she was 14, she was telling us, when she had trouble seeing, and nobody would believe her.
Yeah, she did. And she came and complained to me. And I had to go to school and talk to the teachers and tell them that, please, let Crystal be a bit near the board because she can't see. And I'm supposed to be taking her to the hospital for another checkup.
And then eventually, when she was diagnosed with glaucoma, I mean, did you understand what even that meant? Because for me, glaucoma, like Crystal said, is for people who are 80 and above.
I had no idea. In fact, she asked me, who in the family has suffered from this? I said, no idea at all. And then one time I was told her great-grandfather had a problem with the eyesight. But we don't even, up now, we don't even know if it was glaucoma or not.
Yeah, it could have been anything. I always sit and I always think about my mom and my dad, and I'm like, I can't imagine parents who are looking at their child who isn't at 100%, and how it breaks their heart and stuff. And my parents are always wondering if I'm okay, especially when I go to Nairobi and I do these kinds of things for long periods of time. They're like, what is she doing? Is she safe? She's always on the phone. Are you okay?
Yeah.
When are you coming back? And I'm like, I'm okay, guys. Don't worry.
And of course, when she takes the matatu or the tuk-tuk or the boda, I mean, you must worry all the time.
Yeah, I keep worrying. Then she says, Mom, why do you always worry? I'm a big girl now. So she really gets annoyed with me. She normally travels on the SGR by herself.
Wow.
In fact, we were supposed to come
flying
together,
as
but
well.
then she came by air herself.
Right.
She's been to Rwanda on her own a couple of times. She's been to the UK on her own a couple of times.
UK?
Yeah.
Yeah, I travel a lot.
I have eyes and I can't go to the UK alone.
And you can see clearly.
I can see clearly that we are in Heathrow, but immediately I land. Hey! Yawa. Oh, yawa. So I'm the guy to ask the other questions. So your boyfriend, how did you explain all this to him?
Which one?
Oh.
You have to specify. You know, we're national radio. I don't want to get it wrong.
Is he supportive enough?
Do you have a boyfriend?
Mommy's here.
Mommy's here, yeah.
No, it's like you guys mnanimulika. No. I will say that many boys have come, they've seen, but are yet to conquer.
Oh.
Okay. That's it.
They've come, they have seen. You see, she's referring to sight again. Are you listening? Everything is about sight.
I love to laugh. I love to laugh at myself because I think if I feel sorry for myself, that means that people around me will not be comfortable
It's
around
your
me.
attitude, Crystal. It's your attitude. You have the most brilliant
Elvis
attitude.
say, seriously, Jeff, you have never taken the SGRs? My goodness. I loved the bar there. Crystal Asige, that views just a drop, nailed it. That was dope.
Masai Jr., the story of Crystal is incredible. We wish you nothing but the best, Crystal.
Wow.
Shifter Charliso. Shifter Charlie. So you are an inspiration, Crystal. So joyful and humble. That comes through even on radio, my dear. I am wow. August kids, we are blessed. Third floor, here we come.
Yes, it all starts at 30, apparently.
Leon says, one may have a problem, but when you listen to someone's story like that of Crystal and how positive she is, something's got to change.
Ariel Jambo, El Presidente, said that's God's power. I listen to you, I see God. I like your attitude for real. You are talented, awesome voice. Please do it again just for me. That views us a drop.
That was incredible. That was incredible. And she just heard it downstairs just now.
Oh man, this is incredible. Is that the word?
Incredible is the word, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in French,
Incredible.
it's incroyable.
Incroyable, that's it, sorry.
Incroyable.
You know, if I was in French, I would be puking all the time. Incroyable.
Yes. So, Crystal,
Yes.
Okay, so you questioned God at that time. Now, what kind of conversation do you have with him? Have you come to the realization that this is what was meant to be? Have you come to that?
Absolutely, yeah. I've had to come to accept it for sure. I think as soon as I accepted it, that's when things started to open up for me. I think I've learned so many lessons through losing my eyesight, so many life lessons that I would never have learned if I had sight. And it's matured me, it's grown me, it's challenged me, it's made me trust in people so much more and see and be more patient with people and myself as well, love people more, love myself more, be more compassionate. And yeah, I mean, I've got superpowers as well. I've gained lots of superpowers. Like my hearing is way better. My spatial awareness is way better. For example, there's a time that my friend was dropping me home. Martin Kamau was dropping me home. We had like a coffee and then I was directing him to my house. And he was like, but how can you see? And I was like, okay, in a few meters, there'll be a roundabout, turn left. He was like, huh? He was like, can you see? And I was like, no, I can just follow the movement of the car and how we're going. And obviously, because I know the area, I know when I hit a particular bump, I'm like, okay, there's a few meters to my road, etc., etc., etc.
Nice.
So, and also my bills are less in the house. My light bills are less because I don't use the lights that much. And
Are you trying to say there are certain advantages?
yes, absolutely.
Listen, Twanga Pepeta Here's an interesting story. He says, Jeff, can you ask Crystal if cannabis is used to treat glaucoma? Because in the States, it's one of the reasons they legalize cannabis. And he wants to use it on his younger brother who has been diagnosed with glaucoma.
Yes, it does work. It does work. That's...
No, see Sativa.
Cannabis.
See Sativa. Angalia watu bana.
Ya majengo.
See papa. See majengo.
Kwa kila huyu Luanda. You know, Luanda is the highest consumers of bag. So what cannabis are you using?
I'm not using cannabis myself. I will plead the fifth on that question.
But some people do use it, right?
Yes, see, you can use it. Obviously, it needs to be prescribed to you. You don't just go and get some from the corner somewhere because you don't know how clean or how whatever it is.
And your mother's listening.
And my mother's listening. And there are parents listening to this radio show. Yes. So yes, it has to be prescribed if you need it, if your glaucoma is acute. But definitely it does work. It does relieve the pressure. It does relieve the pain when you take it and stuff like that, because there are different forms. I mean, smoking is one, like you were saying, but there are like drops that you can take, like liquid, which is just the ADH, yes, which is concentrated, so you don't have to like be, sort of like, ooh.
Right.
Yeah. You just drop it in your tongue, 5 drops or something like that, and then for the day, the next morning, again 5 drops, things like that. Yeah,
it's also pretty cool if you want to be. Ooh, that's not too bad either.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Crystal. All right, Crystal, we're going to take a quick break, switch over to this. We call him the walking and talking encyclopedia of sports. John Kianda is our sports reporter, anchor here. He's going to give us a bit of sports and then come back and finish up with you, okay? Wonderful. Kianda, take it away.